It may seem like the Longfellow Bridge has been under construction since the turn of the millennium, the last millennium, but in fact it's only been for the last 5 years, and now it's finally wrapping up. But as it does, some critics are taking issue with the balance the new Longfellow is striking between cars and bikes. Adam Riley has more.
On a recent weekday, cars on the Longfellow Bridge got one lane to travel from Cambridge to Boston. Bikes headed in that direction could use that lane too, or a de facto temporary bike lane off to the right. And while cars couldn't head from Boston to Cambridge at all, bikes traveling that way got a piece of the sidewalk. But when the bridge reopens in a few weeks, it's all going to change, for better or worse.
Going from Cambridge to Boston, there are going to be 2 lanes for motor vehicles and a narrow painted lane for bikes.
Becca Wolfson heads the Boston Cyclists Union. She thinks that new setup will make the Longfellow a lot like the Mass Ave Bridge, with 2 car lanes and 1 narrow bike lane yielding some truly dangerous conditions for cyclists.
We actually had one of our activists take a speed radar gun. So Mass Ave, the minimum speed was 28, the average speed was 42, and the maximum speed recorded was 66. People treat it as a drag racing strip.
So Wolfson and other advocates are urging the state to change its plans before the new Longfellow opens by cutting Cambridge to Boston car travel from 2 lanes to 1 and using the extra space for a wider, protected bike lane. Given the way the bridge is used every morning, Wolfson says this should be a no-brainer.
A third of the users on the bridge are bikes, 2/3 are cars, and we're getting a fraction of the space.
But according to Jonathan Gulliver, the Mass Highway Commissioner, the situation isn't quite that clear-cut.
The ask that they came to us with, which was to immediately go into a single-lane configuration, was something that we really felt strongly that we couldn't accommodate right now.
Because Gulliver says current plans stem from deliberations that took years and included multiple stakeholders, from advocates to small businesses to Mass General Hospital.
We really feel strongly that after going through such a robust public process and coming up with a consensus that involved just a huge, broad group of people, that we really had to honor that initial sentiment.
Yet Gulliver also says he's sympathetic to cyclists' concerns. So the state's going to squeeze those 2 Cambridge to Boston car lanes closer together to make drivers slow down a bit and put up posts to separate cars from bikes. It's also going to study traffic patterns after the Longfellow reopens to see if even bigger changes make sense.
If the data supports it, we're willing to do it. But right now, we don't have that data. We don't know what the traffic is going to actually look like once we open that bridge up.
There's also a political twist to this story. The Cambridge City Council unanimously passed a resolution supporting Wolfson's proposal, citing that city's Vision Zero program, which seeks to eliminate all traffic fatalities and injuries. But in Boston, which has its own Vision Zero program, the City Council hasn't weighed in. And when we asked Mayor Marty Walsh about a last-minute Longfellow revision, he was non-committal.
I haven't seen the full plan yet, so I think it's a little too early for me to comment fully on the plan. I mean, certainly in Boston, cyclists, we're doing a lot around cyclists and making sure that we have safer ways for cyclists. But I think that, the Longfellow Bridge plan has been in effect for, 10 years in design and construction.
Which might lengthen the odds for an idea that's already a long shot.
Adam Riley joins me now. Let me just say, having nothing to do with your story, I love the way the bridge looks, by the way. I think they really
It's beautiful.
a pretty job. So isn't it a little late in the game? I'm not taking sides. Isn't it a little late in the game for the Cyclists Union to be raising this issue?
It is, and it isn't. Obviously, there's not a lot of time to totally reconfigure this thing. If that's what the state decides to do, makes it probably unlikely that they will. But the activist, Becca Wolfson, says that this consensus that Jonathan Gulliver says existed going back years actually never was a consensus. A lot of people weren't happy at the beginning, and that they have been trying repeatedly over the course of years to say, hey, can we rethink this? Can we maybe do it differently? And they haven't gotten a good answer.
Do they see this commitment that I heard him give you to a study after the bridge opens as a victory, or they think it's just
I thought they would, and they think it doesn't make sense at all. Their argument essentially is that the reason bike traffic has been increasing on the bridge is because of the way it's been set up over the past few years as construction's gone on. And then once you open it up again to 2 inbound lanes heading from Cambridge to Boston, of course there's going to be a lot more vehicular traffic, automotive traffic, because the lanes are going to be there, so people are going to use them.
So when you said it's going to open later in May, which May are we talking about?
We are actually talking about next month.
Is that really happening?
Really happening, which is, it really does seem like this project has been going on
forever,
but it's about to be done one way or another.
Great. Good to see you, Adam Riley. Thanks so much.